Jason here, creator of Brain Advisor, and welcome back to our 10 steps to building resilience at work. And today we're on step number 6. Now in step 6, what we're doing here is seeking opportunities for growth. If you recall from our last week's video, we were working on decision making and taking action. I really hope practicing that the last week went well for you. And this week, now that we're beyond that, we're kind of in the opportunity space. Let's see where we can figure out new ways to develop ourselves. Now, when it comes to personal and professional development, we're really only scratching the surface of our human potential. Imagine 7 billion people on this earth. Not everyone out there is focusing on their personal and professional development, nor are they being supplied with coaches or training material, or possibly not even accessing videos such as these to build resilience. I actually believe that if everyone had the opportunity to tap into their personal and professional development, or at least engage with their human potential, 80% of the world's problems would probably disappear, and the other 20% we'd be spending on space exploration a lot more than sending probes in the air. But baby steps, and let's start taking some. Now I'm a big picture kind of guy, so let's look at this from a macro level. If we were to take a macro approach to seeking out opportunities for growth, we would then enlist a model for well-being, such as the one designed by Dr. Martin Seligman. I know we've heard his name more than one time in this series so far, and just goes to prove how influential he's been in the positive psychology advancement. With the model that he designed, which is called PERMA, what we can do is take apart each of these pathways and find our opportunities for growth development. Now, PERMA as a model is an acronym that stands for positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. And actually, it's kind of a PERMA+V model now. The V has been added, or is in the kind of work in progress stage of being added for vitality. The mind and body is all connected at this point. And what this offers is to look at these 6 areas, and reflect on each of them individually to see whether or not you can find new areas, new opportunities for growth. So let's say you're at work, positive relationships. If you ask yourself, do I have enough coworkers that I'm having a really, think back to the step 1 video on high quality connections. This links up with that. Do I have enough positive relationships? Hopefully, if you have been practicing, you do. Engagement. Am I really engaged with the work I'm doing? You know, are there, perhaps I can use my strengths more, which we'll talk about in a bit, to raise my level of engagement at work. Meaning, a lot of people go through their day, they're doing stuff, they're working, they're making money, but they have no meaning. So there are ways to cultivate, or at least change the way we think about things so that we derive more meaning from our work. All of these are from this macro level approach. Now, if we narrow it down and come into a more micro level approach, then I would offer looking at your individual character strengths. I know we did a video on character strengths, and we can easily offer a link in the description to VIA, which is a Values in Action organization, partnered with Dr. Seligman and the late Dr. Christopher Peterson in representing the strengths that they created or they designed. What we're looking at now is 24 character strengths that are sort of common and ubiquitous across cultures and geographical regions in the world. So looking because some people don't even talk about strengths. I mean, when was the last time anyone, they're more like, hey, what are your weaknesses? What are your weaknesses? So this allows an opportunity to discuss openly what your strengths may be and actually go on that journey yourself to discover and inventory your strengths, like using the VIA survey tool. And once you know these strengths, each of these strengths can be developed. What we really want to do is focus on your natural top core strengths and develop those further. So for example, let's say one of my strengths is humor. So before I start laughing right now, the point is, if you ever need to call upon one of your signature strengths to get you out of a jam, perhaps it could be a bit challenging to talk to a video camera, to do all these, you sort of have a little bit of a dialogue with yourself or with somebody else, and you can tap onto your strength of humor, if you had it, like myself, and that can raise your level of engagement in what you're doing, or it can relieve some stress and raise some positive emotion. So all of these individual strengths are at a micro level, areas where you can improve and opportunities for growth. Let's practice, shall we? So we have our PERMA model, PERMA+V actually, and you go through each of them, write them down. P, positive emotion. E, engagement. R, relationships. M, meaning. A, achievement. V, vitality. And just go through, reflect on each of them. How are you doing? Are those areas that you can improve? We'll move into the next practice, your strengths. So if you like, take a strength survey, discover what your strengths are, and start developing them even more, like your natural strengths, your natural talents, or you can even take other ones that you find more interesting and raise them up through the development process. You can use the priming that we had learned in an earlier video, or you can piggyback your strengths and do what I like to call cross training. It's like when you go to the gym and you do CrossFit, but you're doing it for your brain. So you're cross training your character strengths. Get a coach. I mean, coach, trainer, we prefer to train, consult, however you would like to do it. The point is, ask someone outside of yourself for assistance and guidance and facilitation on how or where you can develop further. All right, let's quickly recap. PERMA+V, excellent model for well-being and a way to reflect on where you can find opportunities for growth. Forget about your weaknesses, focus on your strengths, and each of those strengths can be further developed. And lastly, think about getting a trainer or a coach. You go to the gym, you get a personal trainer, why not one for your mind? Especially if you are really serious about developing and seeking out growth opportunities. Thanks for taking the next step in building resilience at work. As always, we'd love to hear your comments. If you're near our Facebook page, please give us a like, subscribe on YouTube and like the videos. Hopefully you are liking them, so we can really get this out to everybody and have a positive contagion effect in the workplace. Follow us on LinkedIn. We've got our own page there where we're constantly populating stuff. And that is it. Thank you so much for, this is now step number 6. You're really being persistent and dedicated, and the more you practice, the more you continue to progress, the more you are building resilience, and this resilience is going to pay off in big ROI for you in the future. It probably is already paying off for you. Thanks, see you next week for step number 7, and as always, take care and stay positive.